Jamal back and seeing what he looks like offensively is sensational. I picked y'all to go to the conference finals anyway, so it's not really surprising me so much what's happening. But even I didn't think that he would look this exceptional. I thought some of the assist numbers were going to go down because he was going to have to be more of a scorer. But he's able to sustain a lot of this stuff. And
Hey, Lo, can I ask you
what's
something?
up? What's up?
If
them handoff
let's say it's the Lakers and the Nuggets in the conference finals. Well, let's say Jokic does really well offensively against the Lakers. Is he going to be in the tier 1 talks of like offensive players ever?
I'm already trying to make the argument he's a top. I already think he's a top 10 offensive peak all time. I already think he's top 10 offensive peak.
No, I'm talking about higher.
I know,
Eli, you ever notice how? Wait, Eli, have you ever noticed how Low just says low hanging fruit takes, bro, and then acts as if he's
and then acts like they're like hot
insane?
takes.
I've never seen anything like that.
He asked me.
As
Bro,
we talked
Like
about
this nigga's talking as if he has some revelation
Stop.
going.
The nigga asked me, well, are we gonna have tier 1? So
I know, but the way you said, I think he's a top 10 peak. Like
I know, but if
he's
saying all time, then that would encompass top 10.
Okay, but I think it's quite. I think everyone already knows he's at that level. So you saying it is low hanging fruit.
I'm not
you
trying to add the low hanging fruit. He's asking me about tier 1 with top 10 not. I'm serious.
He doesn't see it, man.
With top 10 not encompass tier 1.
Ash, he thought he was cooking some designer shoe, nigga.
Oh God, bro.
It's so crazy.
He thought he was cooking, bro.
Cause Low and the Mars nigga do the exact same thing, bro. Like they just say the most they say obviously correct shit and then like pretend like it's hot takes because like they're getting screamed at by dumb people. Yeah, my mom
is the take that I just had was that not Jokic attempting to be top 5. Cher asked me about tier 1. I said I already have him in my top 10, so I would assume he's tier 1. If I then
it's the cadence of your voice when you say that he's already
hot
top
take
10.
was me telling Swiper that he would be top 5, not top 10. Me talking to Cher is establishing.
Well, who's 5? Well, who's in the top 5 with Steph, Jordan, Magic, Braun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just I mean the next 5 and then what Nash?
You got like Nash, Harden, KD, Dirk, all those guys there.
Shut the fuck up.
Let me go.
KD. Yeah, right. Anyway.
Let me go.
Then niggas said Harden after that too. Oh man.
If you gonna be a tier 1 offensive,
Low, we'll see you. Hey, listen, Low, we'll see you niggas real soon. That's all I gotta say.
Hey,
let me not say too much, bro. Let me not say too much.
Hey, Low, question for you, bro. And Ash too. Just in terms of, let me see. How much do you
forget
think?
Your damn question?
Sure, I brought you up. Literally, don't make me drop you. Anyway, listen. So, do you think? No, I would never.
Does a single person like Cher?
There's no way this is SD.
Oh wow!
Wait,
finish your question.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Do you think this is just a product of the fact that Devin Booker and KD if they have a single off night or a not like all time great shooting night, this is just what's gonna happen when they play?
Oh, for sure. Wait. Do you mean in the series or in general?
I guess just in this series, but just in the playoffs in general versus like a healthy roster.
Yeah, well, with the current roster they have, it's literally designed that if those guys aren't getting you 80 combined every night, bro, the offense is just gonna be really suspect.
And I think that's a very
because they even in like the last 2 games they won, it's not like they defended at a higher level. They were just outscoring the Nuggets. You know what I mean?
I think that's the most important point that wasn't made all night. And I just wasn't trying to go there. Y'all sound like y'all been having this conversation throughout the series, so I just wasn't trying to I don't know what the moving parts are, but I'm saying the Suns have no bench. Like, at what point do we bring that up as a real issue here? Like, they just wild top heavy. Like, somebody on the bench gave Nuggets production today, right? Like, I mean, Bruce Brown got 15, 20 points maybe?
25.
25. Like, you get, you know what I'm saying? You get that. And tomorrow it'll be somebody else. Or you get, even if you don't get 20 points from, let's say, Michael Porter Jr., you might get 2 timely buckets, or whatever the case may be, or a defensive stop, or it's just not a 2-man game over there, and that's why this. I don't know. I'm more surprised Suns got 2 games than
I agree with that.
looking
I'm
for them to
surprised
win.
But look at how Booker
for
shot
them to get
and
those. But the reason why, and this is just
wait, hold on. Wait, what
He
was
has to
Swiper
be.
saying?
no. Well, this is what I was gonna ask you, Prezi. The reason why I don't bring up those things is because those are things when I went into the series I was already expecting to happen, right? So like if I'm going into a series expecting not to get production from the bench, I'm expecting them to not to be able to win games off of defense. I'm expecting them to be overly dependent on Durant and Booker, and that's the only way that in my mind I can see them winning ball games. And so when the bench doesn't give him anything, there's not really much for you to talk about because those are things I already knew. Now when Shamit goes crazy.
You feel like the defense played bad in games 3 and 4?
No,
Nuggets.
Suns.
I think Murray was too shaky. I think
They were getting cooked. Yeah, they were getting cooked. But
what?
I think
the Nuggets, the Suns had a. Jay Will. The Nuggets had a 132 offensive rating last game. Yeah, they were getting obliterated. The Nuggets just missed.
Nah, your boy went for 53. That's what happened.
No. The Nuggets were 2 of 18 in open 3-pointers over the last of game 3 and 4. That's what I mean, bro. Like they couldn't hit. They hit 10% of their threes, wide open threes, like within 3 to 6 feet.
With a variance.
But do you think that? But
do you think that's
But you're not going to shoot well for 7 games.
Yeah, it just.
I know.
Like what?
10% though?
No, but do you also think that it's because they're on the road? Because usually role players have a drop.
But
like,
to 10% though,
like on the road.
It's gonna happen with the three ball.
That's fine. But that doesn't mean, or even if that's fine, but that doesn't mean that they're playing great defense. It means you're missing wide open shots.
Oh yeah.
To Jay Will's.
But if one player is getting to the rim and being highly efficient, but there's nobody else getting to the rim, then is that defense or is that they not?
MPJ is not getting to the rim regardless. If he's just 2 for 9 from 3.
Okay, when Jamal Murray was trying to get to the rim, Deandre Ayton had a couple of great rim protection plays. Y'all missed that?
The Nuggets they shot good at the rim last game. What do you mean?
They shot like
8%. I'm not talking about Jokic. You know what? Don't worry about it. I got it.
No. Yeah, collectively. You're talking about individual players. Yeah, I can't take the collective numbers in there.
I want to say another thing about
defensively, sure, but again, my original stance was I'm not going into the series thinking that they can win ball games off their defense. Meaning that if somebody has a bad shooting night, that off of defense alone they're going to be able to pull it out. So I'm never expecting that out of them. So when it doesn't happen, I'm not expecting them to play league high defense. So I'm not. That's in a general sense. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about their bench depth. I'm not going to talk about Chris Paul's inability to get to the basket because these are things that I knew already before we got to the series, right? The only thing I'm going to talk about are things that I expect to happen, and when they do not happen, why they did not happen. And I'm also going to talk about things that I was not expecting in the first place, such as Devin Booker going on a burner for like 7 games. Outside of that,
can I ask you a question though? What happens when Chris Paul comes back? And this is the reason why I'm asking that, right? I'm never one to say.
You my next year?
He's not gonna be on the team.
He's not coming back.
He's not.
Nigga, Chris Paul has played his last game as a Sun. He has played his last game.
Do y'all believe those conspiracies that they purposely sat him out because they're better without him? Do y'all believe those conspiracies?
Let me tell you. I don't.
No, we all know every year there's an annual Chris Paul injury in the playoffs, dog.
No, but listen, I want to say this. Like, I don't believe in better without a player, especially like a player. Your top 3-4 players. I don't believe in better, but I do believe in different without that player, right? And it's very obvious. Chris Paul is not running with them like that. But then something else happens with Chris Paul off the floor. You could visually watch Ayton get unmotivated. Is it demotivated?
Are you serious?
Whatever.
Unmotivated.
Are you serious?
No, wait. Listen. Let me just finish. Let me just finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could say he's not dominating.
When they say don't say it. When they say
dominating.
When KD and Booker's playing that 2-man game, I mean, we could say he's been unmotivated, but then he gets worse than that. Like Chris Paul at least got him involved in some way, shape, or form.
Nah.
Don't let that shit fool you, bro. This is not 2021, bro.
1 and 2.
Hey, Prezi, and the reason why I say no because they don't even run that type of offense that more, even when Chris plays. It's literally Booker, Kevin Durant, When we played the Nuggets, it was literally
You mean the
that.
Clippers?
And then Chris Paul hasn't even been looking. Chris Paul hasn't even been looking for Ayton in pick and rolls, bro. He's been looking for a shot.
You mean when y'all played because when they played the Clippers and they went small,
Gorilla Suns fan, bro.
Nigga, Ash, you got a fucking problem, nigga, with me riding with my nigga, even if he's some shit.
Hey, yo.
Riding, you got a problem with that?
That's your nigga.
Wait, Jay Will is saying
my
is
God.
wait. I don't want to get a detour.
Riding.
Nigga, I'm going down with my guy. You got a problem?
You
with that,
going
You going down with him?
Okay, all right.
Why is Mustard
all right, fucking childish ass.
You going down? You riding? That's your nigga.
Yeah, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it. Nigga.
Jay Will is saying,
Don't make Jay Will leave. Don't make Jay Will leave.
Get in the bed with some women, my nigga.
What
Jay
Will is saying is correct because in the Clippers series,
called your ass pussy.
In the Clippers series, they would play.
First of all, he
both
talking
of you
to
niggas.
Both?
In the Clippers series, they would go 5 guard lineups, and they still was not throwing Ayton the ball down low. They just weren't. I mean, Ayton has not been in that ball.
Yeah, we don't run that shit.
Yeah, they don't. Not in.
Yo, tween, these niggas in here belonging to the wrong demographic.
And what's even worse is that in the first
Buffalo
games,
niggas, man.
it became even more. It became even more obvious in the first 2 games when Chris Paul was there, when he was just watching him out rebound him, getting to his spots, not giving any resistance. Even today, he had a couple of cuts off ball and just Ayton is. Bro, there was one. What play was that when Aaron Gordon is posting up Kevin Durant, and this nigga this nigga comes for the double.
He doubles down.
He double teams on an Aaron Gordon post up.
Yo, swipe a left. Can you make him co-host again? Thanks, love.
He
I got you, brother. Swipe left.
He sent a double team on an Aaron Gordon post up on KD
Lord have
to
mercy,
leave
bro.
Jokic wide open. I just think that DeAndre Ayton has not been focused. Period. Like
he's just not a smart man.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Aaron Gordon willingly post him up, I was like,
went to the Bader Mag bank shot.
But AD is a strong dude though,
bro.
Yo, the second possession when I seen like after Jokic short on Ayton and this nigga caught the ball off at inbound and Aaron Gordon proceeds to post up fadeaway bang shot that I
That's disgusting. Monty's going to have to spell KD some minutes. Bro, him playing it at halftime, they show he played the whole first half. Like that's not going to work, bro.
So what?
No, Jay Will, no. I would rather spell them him a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half, and get down a little bit.
Don't you know that once they lose the series, you know you finna be at your house, nigga, for the next 3 months.
Jay Will.
no way,
my nigga. You doing what it takes to win, my nigga.
Especially a jump shooter. He's a jump shooter. He needs his legs. I would rather sit him 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and risk going down in the game than to just let him stay out there and then he has no legs and he's shooting.
Keep going, real T. You right, real
18, 20 footers the whole game. Like, no, bro, you need to sit him down some.
All right, good luck with sitting him down some.
Wait, could I ask you all about?
You cooked him, Jay Will.
So for KD next year. Like, I don't know if y'all saw, like, Ball Don't Stop, he was saying that KD's, like, in his Dirk route, or, like, he's going to be in his Dirk era of, like, having to be, like, kind of like a big man scorer, where, like, he's a big man scorer operating in the post. I don't even know, bro.
I agree with what you're saying,
Yo, why do niggas hate?
Wait.
It's literally.
I don't
so
like that
weird,
nigga
bro.
either, but it's like
Share. I agree with what you're saying, Share, and I'm happy that Ball Don't Stop is finally coming along.
You niggas are some hoes, bro.
I'm happy that Ball Don't Stop is finally coming along to understanding what we've been
saying.
Nigga,
it's not finally. He's been saying that for years.
You've been saying that he's been in his Dirk phase for years?
Dirk phase in turn, not Dirk is in he's washed. Dirk is in how he's.
I know, I get that,
like,
but so if he's in his Dirk phase, he still thought that he was like a top 3 player.
Yes.
That nigga's crazy. Well, long story short, though, the reason why that's even though if that's true, the pieces that you would need to put around KD to really maximize who he would be as a player is going to be really difficult to find, and I just don't know if it.
All right, you're gassing.
It depends on who they get for that Ayton trade, because I do think Ayton will be traded in the offseason. I think they're going to try their hardest.
Hold on. Wait. What you trying to say?
He's trying to say your boy is not portable.
I'm not.
No. Let us speak for itself. Hold on, I want to hear this.
He's not portable. What I'm saying, because this nigga ass is a gaslighter. Look at this nigga. What I'm saying is the pieces that is needed for that to be maximized to win a championship. They're going to need a defensive-oriented five. They're going to need some switchable wings. They're going to need a ball handler who can set up the offense. Like, those are all things that they will really need.
That all sounds like stuff Kevin Durant can do.
Okay.
Switchable wings, ball handlers, fives, defensive fives. KD can do all those things.
Okay, all right. See, he's trolling.
Isn't that why he's the best in the world?
Well, Jay Will, I think he would need all of those things to maximize what he has, maximize what he needs to do, and I just don't think that the Suns will be able to provide those things for him. Maybe a defensive-oriented big for sure.
Okay, so let me ask these two questions. I'm gonna dip. Number one, what players in the league, regardless if the situation is not optimal, they're going to go win a championship? We're not talking LeBron.
I don't think the situation that AD is in right now is optimal.
Wait, ask the question.
You don't think what?
I don't think the situation that Anthony Davis is in right now is optimal. I think he can still win a championship though, but I don't think it's optimal. I don't think the situation Curry's in right now is optimal. Don't think it is.
Yeah, I was about to say Steph is not in the optimal situation right now.
Yeah, neither is Jimmy Butler.
Neither is Jimmy Butler actually.
And neither is Harden.
And all these niggas will somehow make it further.
Yeah, Julius Randle too.
Somehow make it further than Durant.
And playing better than him too, but I won't say too much.
Well, Steph won't.
Well, yeah, Steph. The only person I believe is like thoroughly maximized is Tatum. That's why it's even worse that he's.
No, it's Jaylen Brown.
In contrast to everyone else.
Well, yeah, but he's not being like fully maximized.
So yes, Jay will. It will be different.
So you think Jimmy Butler would have won that series? Giannis plays the whole series.
Hell yeah, nigga! Did you see?
Oh, man.
Hell yeah, nigga!
Answer the question.
Yes, I think the way that Coach Bud was coaching and the way that they defended him down the stretch of games. Yes.
Okay,
they lost.
Yeah, nigga, they got punked in game 5.
I don't know what to tell you niggas, boy.
I don't know.
That's fine. But you said that, and you're telling me the fucking Lonnie Walker game happens in the fourth quarter. Anthony Davis is not an option.
Yeah, LeBron needed to be saved.
I ain't even gonna lie. If GP doesn't get sick,
come on, bro. That's like me asking you if Landry Shamet didn't score what he did in the previous game.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked.
No, it's not an optimized situation, Jay Will.
Yeah, because it sounds like you. But when I asked that question, like
Jay Will, it sounds like Low got business
when Jimmy Butler won those 2 games against Milwaukee, right? That's some shit that like, oh, I can give you that. Damn, this nigga pulled some shit up. You're telling me Anthony Davis can do some shit like that? No, nigga, it's situations that's going on around Anthony Davis for him to win games.
I didn't.
The fuck? Like I'm not watching the same games you watching, my nigga. Like you just literally just try to make it seem like.
Nigga, are you seeing the Lakers game right now? The Lakers series. When this nigga 80's off the court, they getting layup lines. Repeat
what you just said. Repeat what you just said, Jay. Well, I didn't hear it, but it was.
I'm trying to see.
It was number 3 hate. It was number 3 hate. So I'm trying to hear it. Repeat.
Nah, it wasn't no 3 hate. He just said in a less.
He said 80's in a situation to optimize him right now. That's what he basically said.
He's not.
Wait, I don't. Wait, my bad.
As if when 80's off the court, these niggas not getting.
And you base that off Jimmy Butler. You said Jimmy like scored a lot.
80 does have a lot of ball handlers around him though.
I'm not. Wait.
But defensively, he does not have.
He has one too many that look him off and don't throw him the damn ball.
Wait, Jay Will, say what you said again because of my I don't know what just happened with my connection. You're saying that you think AD is in an optimized situation?
Nah, I don't. I didn't. I said you made it seem like Anthony Davis can win the championship as the best player and not be in the optimal situation.
I mean, he's about to.
I don't think this situation you're trying to say now is like, oh, it's like he's dealing with some shit like Jimmy Butler's dealing with to go win. Nah.
There's different levels of optimization, but you asked me in a general sense, how many players can win a championship and not be in an optimal situation, right? And I think unless the Celtics turn it around, really, I think most of these players are in situations where they have to do more than when we probably assume that they can do to make up for whatever their team is lacking because their team is not optimizing them as a whole. The levels of optimization for one player like Jimmy Butler may be different from another like Anthony Davis, but there's things in which they both have to make up. Even Embiid to an extent, like Embiid has to do a lot more defensively than we probably should have to.
Nigga, he's the only center in the league who doesn't have a secondary rim protector next to him.
Yeah. So like there's several things that all these other players
when he's off the court, it's Wenyan Gabriel on
You
the
said
court.
the only center, Ash?
Wait, who's
I'm
the only
playoff teams. I'm playoff teams. Let me cook.
The only center on
yes,
the
I don't think the thing with the, and I'll say this, the thing with KD.
So who does AD have?
I'm not saying
Oh, I
that
forgot
Kevin
about
Love's the
Bam.
secondary rim
I'm
protector.
not saying the team. I'm not saying that the team that KD has to be built around has to be perfect to a team. But there are about 2 or 3 things that I think is necessary if KD's going to move into that realm. I think he obviously is going to need a rim protector, like a defensive oriented 5 who's going to rebound. I do believe that he's going to need switchable wings. Obviously, some depth that will work.
So is AD situation right now? Is AD situation right now better than KD's?
Yes, it's better.
Well,
how much better?
Enough for them to still win games and him have potential like bad shooting nights.
Okay. So if the situation is equal, right? AD's the better player still to you?
Oh, I don't know what Anthony Davis looks like when it's this poorly optimized. So I don't know.
Okay, so basically, I'm asking if Kevin Durant is in the situations, all these players that's ranked above him or people that y'all would say better than him, fine, right? That's cool. I ain't finna debate nobody. But if the situations was all equal, Kevin Durant would be ranked where? And based in your mind of they could go win a championship, he'll be 7th, 8th, 6th. Where would he be?
He would probably still be 5th to 7th for me. Especially if everyone's healthy, he'd be like 5th or 7th.
And everybody's situation is about somewhat.
Who's
even.
Everyone? Are we also saying like Kawhi?
Yeah, I'm talking about the top 8 players in the league.
He's like 5th
which is Jokic, Curry, Giannis. The top 8 that we talk about all the time.
If we're
everybody's
also
in an
including
equal
Kawhi
optimized situation, like he's like nobody's situation is better than another, and you got to roll the ball out and go win.
He's like
Kevin
5th
Durant
or 7th.
Ranked where?
5th or 7th.
5th or 7th?
5th
5 to 7. 5 to 7.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And the 4 players in front of him would definitively be Jokic, Giannis, Curry, and then who?
If everybody's optimized, I think Kawhi would look better as well.
4, okay, and 4. So and then he'll be between him.
AD better than this
him. I don't know if LeBron is regressed or if that's just
he's regressed, brother.
Yeah, okay. If LeBron is regressed,
my goat would never though. So
if LeBron is regressing, not exclude LeBron, it would be KD, Luka, Embiid.
Why are you saying Embiid's name last? Like, never mind, bro. Let me not.
So he's juggling between them 3.
Which is
y'all bugging out with Bron, so
y'all got J. Will, you got KD over Embiid, like everything equal.
What is him? Me personally, I'm still like Embiid right now. He had a good game yesterday. Today. But Embiid has not done enough for me in the playoffs to put him in the top 5 conversation. Me personally.
What has KD done? What has KD done?
I'm just talking about period resume, my nigga, his career period.
I know, but we're talking about the here and now.
Nigga, this is not a career achievement award, bro. We're not doing this.
I don't give a fuck what you want to do, nigga.
If your whole argument is about optimization and the only type of success that he's seen when he's been the most optimized out of any other nigga that we're talking about right now, what the fuck has that nigga Durant done? What has Durant done? Actually, let's ask that question. If the argument is we're settling on is who's the most optimized, that nigga was in the most optimized situation, and that's the only time that nigga won.
Optimal.
Yes,
optimal.
The only other time that nigga made it to the finals when he had a DPOY candidate, 2 ball handlers, and fucking Westbrook and Harden.
Not candidate, recipient, by the way. Recipient.
So you tell me, what the fuck has that nigga Durant done?
What I was talking about winning as in winning championships?
Not a damn thing, nigga.
I'm talking about
shut the fuck up, nigga. Let me talk to this nigga. As winning championships?
Oh, that's the 3rd time you've been disrespected,
nigga won a championship when Obama was the president. Who gives a fuck, bro?
We talking about winning championships or putting up great performances in the playoffs?
I'm talking about winning and performing.
I'm talking about performing right now. I have not seen enough from Embiid in the playoffs as a performer to put that nigga in the top 5 conversation.
KD done as a performer?
Okay, and so
what the fuck, nigga?
we're going to ask the question again. If you're again, the question initiated was if they were all in optimal situations. The only years in which Kevin Durant has really performed and rose to the occasion that would really separate him from a lot of other people in the postseason is years in when he was either in Golden State or in 2012 when he had a DPOY candidate in Serge Ibaka, two elite level ball handlers and passer and playmakers in Russell Westbrook and James Harden in an all around quality defensive unit. That's when he's been able to do it, bro.
I would also like to say that
he's been able to. Hey, he gonna bring up 21. He gonna bring up 21.
I would also like to say that the thing that
I
people
can't bring it up. Like what the fuck?
The thing that people do.
If you want to bring up 21,
like what that shit fucking mad weird to me, nigga.
I hate it when monkeys.
We're talking about him and Embiid
shut
right
the
now,
hell up,
nigga.
man.
Bro,
what the fuck does Embiid have? Why you niggas trying to rock this nigga like he's breaking the mute?
He can bring
How
up 21.
How is he breaking the mute?
He can bring up 21. That's fine. Even in 21, in the first round, the nigga had Kyrie and Harden against the Celtics without Jaylen Brown. And then in the second round, he was shooting over PJ Tucker. Congratulations.
Also, real quick, I also wanted to say real quick, I do hate this discourse. Like, we acting as if Embiid doesn't always like rise as a defender in the playoffs. Like, people act as if offense is the only thing he brings. Like, he's not one of the best defenders in the league. So, just wanted to bring that out there. And by the way, just wanted
this propaganda is crazy.
I also wanted to say, for that Buck series for Kevin, please check his numbers when he's getting assisted by James and when he isn't. But I won't say too much about that. I'll keep that.
Jay Will, was Embiid in the optimal position with Ben Simmons?
With Ben Simmons
and like 2 years ago.
I'm not making all this shit about being optimal. I'm asking you niggas, optimal or non-optimal, has he been a better playoff performer? What the fuck are we doing dancing around for? If you wanna pick Embiid, nigga, tell me you picking Embiid and make the fucking argument of why. You niggas doing all this dancing and shit, trying to talk about what you don't like about Kevin Durant's career. That's fine.
I feel like I am making the argument, which is the argument.
What is the argument?
The argument that you just got.
No, what is the argument for Embiid
I'm about to say it right now.
Okay, go ahead.
The argument
you're arguing your consistency, bro.
Swinging off of, which was the argument about if everybody's on the same team, that everyone's being optimized accordingly, who's better? I'm telling you that I'm not going to sit here and assess Joel Embiid when the niggas had to play share a floor with Ben Simmons for most of his goddamn playoff career, when we know for a fact, as we see right now, he looks noticeably better offensively, and like Ash just said, defensively, he's looked significantly better as well. And if they do make it to the conference finals, it'll be the first time they've done so as soon as Ben Simmons got off the fucking team.
And he got an optimal roster.
So are we just going to put
and it's still not even the most optimal.
It's still not even all that.
Still
great.
not.
I won't say too much.
Are we just going to put like...
So if you want to say, hey, we got to wait maybe 3 or 4 more games, fair enough. But what I'm seeing right now makes me confidently believe that nigga wasn't sharing the floor with Ben Simmons, then fuck it, bro. He would have been playing way better.
Listen, I think y'all all having this screaming match because we don't understand.
Way, he did. Why are we pretending like he didn't just have Why are we pretending like he didn't just have a series where like his processing speed?
Eli just spoke over
some of his
words, son. And he would have been going crazy.
Euro.
You gotta go back.
I hate it when people just Prezi. I'm so sorry that Eli did that, bro. I'm gonna unmute this. Please go out and say what you have to say peacefully, brother. I'm so Eli. Please watch your mouth.
Come back. I removed him. He got to come back because I didn't hear him at all.
Go ahead, Prezi. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. It's a room, but I think y'all fighting two different conversations right now. Like, are we having a hypothetical conversation, or are we having a conversation based on what's happened already? Because
it was a hypothetical.
Having a conversation based on what's happened already. Yes, I do agree that Embiid can't be put in that conversation. But if we having a completely hypothetical conversation, put everybody on the same teams. I mean,
what are we watching right now? What are you watching right now with Embiid? What are you watching right now with Embiid? What are you watching right now?
I like the way Embiid looks, and I think he has a good situation around him.
By the way,
what?
I do like the way Embiid looks, bro. Everybody didn't have a perfect game. He had 2 games.
No. I'm not. I'm talking about in the general. All I'm saying is this: Embiid, the same way that it sounds like Jay Will was referring to how the roster is currently constructed, and potentially us assessing KD on a team that's not constructed in a way that will maximize him, and then us then carrying that conversation to other players in the NBA. That is a fair assessment. But then when we get back to assessing them as a totality, that same logic would have to apply because Kevin Durant has been on teams that has optimized him in one way or another way more than a lot of other players have.
Correct. I agree 100%, right? But we're asking this now, right?
And he's still underperforming in those situations as well.
No, you cannot say he underperformed with the Warriors. That didn't happen.
No, in
not
OKC.
Not the Warriors. In OKC.
In OKC, he had one bad series.
And that's
one bad series?
I'll catch you later.
What's the series?
I gotta go.
Wait, tell me what's the series?
I gotta go.
Way low. Don't end it. Wait.
Stop. And this is shit I be talking about. Stop. Nigga, stop. Ash, I have to go, bro. I gotta go.
Don't end this face.
Ash, I gotta go.
Stop. Don't end this face.
Ash, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Chill out. Just have a conversation.
Ash, I have to go. No, I gotta go.
Let me have a conversation.
Ash, I have to go. Ash, I
Please,
gotta go.
Jay
bro.
Will would like to rebuttal you.
I gotta. Hey, Jay will get rebuttal, but I gotta go, bro.
No, you don't have to go.
Come on. Ash, come on.
Please, no, you ain't gotta go, bro. Chill out. Chill out. Let them. Come on, we were having a good convo. You ain't gotta go, man. Just chill out, man.
Come on.
Chill out. We was having a good convo.
Bro, look.
That nigga really said one bad series.
Hold on. This is why like the Kevin Durant discourse gets this way, bro. And as a KD fan, like I see why like niggas have so like just can't wait to fucking say something about the situation because there are clear things that I don't know people didn't look at, bro. But Lo, I don't know why you doing this shit when at the end of the day, the national media has a lot to do with why niggas think what they think. Like you're at war with the fucking national media every day. Do you not know that? I be wondering, like, as smart as you are, do you not know that?
No, I get it, and I get it.
Yo, he just called you a bitch, bro.
No, I did not.
I know these niggas are chatting. I know they're chatting. And you're right. It is a narrative that, for whatever reason, that
you called him. You said he's right. That you're a bitch.
That keeps getting shaped around Kevin Durant. That makes someone say that he's only had one bad playoff series. You're right. That's
all I'm saying. Like it's literally like every day, and it goes with a lot of players in the league. If you've been watching the national media more than you've been like using real hoop heads to talk the game with you, then what else can you really say to somebody? Like you're gonna keep running through the same fucking circle, bro, the same fucking hamster wheel. So I don't know to tell you.
Yeah, Lo,
my whole thing
to the new media to
end this shit.
Y'all gotta stop
saying end this shit anyway.
Lo is addicted to talking to niggas that are dumb.
Stop saying OKC was optimal too. Stop saying that. I don't know why.
I don't know why we.
That's what I'm saying. I hate it. I hate it when Lo says that.
Look,
bro. I hate it when I'm sorry, Jay Will. I hate it when niggas think that a situation can't be optimized just because they don't have 30,000 shooters around somebody. And fucking one of the greatest scorers of all time has to go on Twitter on his fucking burner and complain about the lack of spacing. Just because you don't have spacing doesn't mean that there are other
same
things.
Guy whose best buddy was claiming that you don't need space, who. But I won't say too much.
But there's so many other aspects there's so many other things that Kevin Durant was surrounded with in OKC that made his job significantly easier. It may not have just been 3-point shooters, but there were so many other things. I think KD almost every year was on the top 10 defensive unit, maybe outside a year where Serge Ibaka might have got hurt. I think almost every single year they were in the top 10 defensive unit, bro. This idea that that's the only thing he needs to optimize his offense is also another problem that we have with this fucking NBA discourse, nigga. He had several things,
bro. The thing about this, bro. Goods. Let me say something to you, bro. When we went up 3-1 as a KD fan, when we went up 3-1, was we saying that shit?
How many weeds we got?
Yeah, nigga. Because he was on the same team with my nigga when we was in 2006. Was the Thunder not up 3-1 with the same situation?
Yeah, they were.
That's what I hated about Kevin Durant's comment. You was up 3-1, it didn't matter then. But then it matters when you lose the series. Like, nah, bro, I'm not with that shit. So, anyways, my whole thing was not like, it was attacking both sides. Put everybody in an optimal situation. And I also go off of what has happened in history when it has been optimal or non-optimal. And for Joel Embiid at this point, right? I get the defense. Ash keep bringing up the defense. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you are known to bring this type of offense to the table. So just because you can do this doesn't mean you can get away with not doing the other. No.
Quite ironic as a Kevin Durant fan.
It's the same thing with Kevin Durant. The first couple of years of his career, it wasn't being talked about how bad of a defender he actually was or how good of a defender he actually wasn't. Right? And he got away with it because he was on good defensive teams.
Will, somebody real life tried to tell me that KD was close to LeBron as a defender in 2012.
Man, I don't, bro.
No.
Kevin Durant, LeBron. Listen, the Kevin Durant, LeBron conversation.
I'm taking him serious.
There should never be a Kevin Durant. It should have never been a Kevin Durant, LeBron.
I know exactly who Eli is talking about, bro.
So yeah, that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, J-Will, land the plane because I want to hear what you're trying to say.
So my whole thing is non-optimal or optimal. I think at the end of the day, for Joel Embiid, my whole thing with him is what I have seen has not been enough. Regardless of the situation being fortunate or unfortunate, it has not been enough to be in the top 5 combo.
And so my rebuttal,
do you need more years?
And I was only talking about optimal. You took the angle to think that I was only talking about optimal, which I wasn't. I was just trying to ask you that when it comes to Kevin Durant going forward, how do you assess him now from other players being in optimal situations? Because
thank you for handling that perfectly.
Wait, and let me ask you the same question now. If Joel Embiid now going forward with Ben Simmons off his team and Harden, who's not even like close to what he once was,
bro,
on the roster,
he won that nigga 2 games.
If they have similar success in which Kevin Durant saw in OKC. Would you then not come to a different conclusion?
Can you imagine not being close to your prime?
I will come to a different conclusion.
Harden
I will
has
come
more
to a different
40 balls
conclusion.
in the
Like the
playoff
way I saw
than
Harden perform tonight, and then be getting it done this way. If I saw that happen more than I saw Harden doing what he did last game and in game 1, then yes.
Wait. Harden was perfect tonight.
If I see Harden being the sole reason, or being close to the sole reason with Embiid, then no, I would not change it. So that's how I would assess it.
I want to be clear. You believe that most of those postseason series and OKC,
what was Westbrook in
Durant? I was just about to say, you think Durant was far ahead?
No, not every time. No,
I didn't say every time. I said most.
No, hell no.
Most of the time.
2016 Spurs, Kevin Durant was efficient, but I think Westbrook was the better player in that series.
No, I'm just talking about in a general from 2011 to 2016.
Dallas.
From 2011 to 2016, you believe that Kevin Durant, for the most part, not all the time, for most of the series, he was far and ahead better than everyone.
I'm not going to say far and ahead. I think far and ahead is a stretch, bro.
All right, clearly better.
Far and ahead. I think which year?
It was better, yeah.
From 2011 to 2016.
I'm not gonna lie. 2011, yeah. You limit that stretch to 2014 or 2013. We might be having a.
Because Russ was definitely.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I might be on T0. I'm not gonna lie. If it's just importance to the team, that from 13 to 16, I don't know. I feel like Russ might have been a better player in more series, and that little stretch, low key, not gonna lie.
But I don't want to say it either. But I as much as people think I hate Russ, I
might have to go back. But I do remember. I don't know. I'll say Russ played up to his standards more often in those stretches. That's what I'll say. I don't know if he was necessarily better than KD.
I agree, but KD at his peak, I think prior to like 15, 16, he was probably, he was definitely the better player. But 15, 16, yeah, I'm siding with Russ in that playoff run. I think Russ was better, like as a whole than KD in that playoff run, easily. But KD prior to that,
I think Russ was better in more series in the 2014 run.
14.
Wait,
Yeah,
14 is the year they lost to the Spurs, right, in the conference finals?
Yes, outside of the first round, the Grizzly series, if I'm not mistaken, Westbrook was pretty bad.
And then they missed the
But
playoffs 15, right? Because Katie got hurt.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Clippers series, without a doubt, Westbrook was better.
In 2014?
In 2014 against the Clippers, Westbrook was better.
That was the series where he bitched CP3, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he finished that series more efficient than Kevin Durant.
That
Clearly a
was the
better
one. That was the one with
passer.
that Reggie Jackson play or whatever the fuck it was.
He was clearly a better passer and playmaker than KD. He was able to initiate and get them easy buckets and transition more. The whole offense just flowed way better and he was way more impactful, in my opinion, than Kevin Durant was in that series.
Yo, Eli.
You talking about against the Clippers?
Against the Clippers, yes.
Eli, man.
Wow.
Eli, what we need to do, bro, is we need to reawaken our 2021 offseason agenda about that Buck series, man. Is it time?
Oh, bro. I remember, bro, we used to bring up like the on-off with like Harden and KD. And like even though like obviously Harden wasn't good in that series, bro, KD really didn't start turning up till Harden came back. Niggas don't.
Y'all doing a lot, bro.
I'm
y'all trying
doing.
to kill
If,
KD,
are we
bro.
doing? Are we doing?
Are we?
I
Listen,
mean, we know what
Y'all trying to
KD is
kill
without elite
KD, bro.
playmakers, bro.
Wait, but like, look, let's keep it about. Let's keep it a stack, right? Like, no joke. Like, and there is a reason for this, by the way. And NMZ talks about it all the time. If you niggas ever listen to NMZ, who shout out the voice of reason, man. The reason why like shit like that happens is because like KD's clearly regressed as a ball handler, right? And he's clearly regressed as like a nigga who you want having the, like creating a lot of shit, happening. And even though that nigga wasn't doing too much, right? Just let me cook. That nigga was out there facilitating, he initiating, he doing all that shit, man. And KD just to get to go out there and score. When he ain't got to do that initiating shit, you feel me? That nigga's special. But when he do, yikes. It's a little scary.
That's the conclusion, bro. But that's the conclusion that we reached 2-3 years ago, bro. And like niggas is just not getting on that shit. You feel me? It's weird. Cause I remember, bro. Like I remember I had a tweet and it had like mini blew up, and I remember when we had did the space with KD, I had like told KD about the tweet, and even he didn't really disagree. It was like Kevin Durant without elite playmakers. It was like Kendrick Perkins dribbling or some shit. It was on my old account, bro. I had sent it to him, like he had seen it or whatever, and it was like, bro, even though Harden wasn't really creating much in that series, it was just a handler that could like take some of the pressure off of him.
Nigga was a worse ball handler than a nigga on one leg, man.
But
Kevin needs some shame.
I do think KD initiated plenty though. Despite that, he had a great series. I mean, it was against the defense that Jimmy Butler averaged 36 on though. So I mean,
this gentleman Ant wants to speak.
I don't know if I want to listen.
Who?
Ant, the gentleman.
Turning my volume down.
I'm joking.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Ant.
salute, gentlemen. Nah, thank you.
Turning my volume down is crazy.
Nah, I appreciate it. I just want to make a couple points, man. I'm a listener, like the hundreds of guys you have down there. I don't know. I'm opinionated, I guess, and we'll see how this goes. And thanks for the floor. But I just want to say, I guess, two things. I'll keep it condensed as best I can. This talk about like Westbrook, I get the knocks on Durant's his resume, and he's got a tacky legacy, bro. That's established, and it's really. He's got a complicated one, man, compared to a lot of guys of his caliber and history, and that's obvious. It's so clear. But I just want to say, I'll just say this about that, and I don't want to get too carried away because I've had opinions about so many things you guys have been saying. But this talk about like Westbrook, like you want to knock Durant because there have been series in the past or series where he wasn't like the top guy on the floor, and like Westbrook was more responsible for them winning a certain series or not. Bro, like people, like bro, when the main focus, and if this is a casual take, you guys could chop me down. I'm up for correction. I don't want to like put myself on a pedestal. Like I know it.
Yeah, it sounded like you're getting there, bro.
Yeah, nigga, just say the take.
I got. No, fact. Okay.
Yeah, bro, I'm annoyed. Go ahead.
I hear you. So, when you're the best player on the floor, man, like teams will want to try to neutralize you to an extent, and they'll let like other options beat you. So that way, what worked for your team that you are on all season is not what carries you in the end in the playoffs. Like, bro, I think back to 2014 because I'm a Spurs fan, and I remember how happy I was that whole ride. I was ecstatic, man. It was awesome. one of the happiest.
Do you remember who guarded Russ and who guarded KD?
I'm not sure he remembers who guarded Russ.
I don't think he remembers.
It was probably
They put
man, I couldn't
who?
tell you off the top of my head, but I could tell you this. I know Westbrook,
It was
Nigga,
Kawhi,
it was
bro. It was Kawhi,
Kawhi.
bro. It
Westbrook
was
was a rim
Kawhi.
runner, man, and if he had to get by Kawhi, and then
He was dusting that nigga.
if he had to,
They put
Yeah,
Vandy
Russ
on
was
that
literally
nigga.
blowing by Kawhi.
if he had to meet Splitter and Duncan at the rim, bro, I know Pop was rolling that dice rather than let KD dice up whoever he could on the.
But nigga, that's literally
That's
not
hard
what happened.
offense.
That's their best POA defender.
That is not what happened though,
And
bro.
here we go.
Okay, but do you not understand? Let's just say that's. Do you
Russ
not
is so
understand
hated, bro. This shit
that's
weird.
how? Wait, do you not understand how that's kind of like contradicting what you said before? Like when you initiated the conversation about how teams will sell out and they'll make adjustments based off of the who's on there, with Kevin Durant being the best player, et cetera, et cetera. But if they acknowledge that it's more impactful to have Kawhi Leonard defending you, right? Like, does that not speak volumes to the type of impact that Russell Westbrook would have?
Well, absolutely, bro. But you know what, though? And I'm glad we're talking about this series in particular right now because this was a series, if you guys recall, in Game 6 in overtime. I remember I've watched the highlight video so many times because it's nostalgic for me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, man, like Durant, I don't know how many shots he put up at the end of that game, but Westbrook had the ball in his hands a heck of a lot more than KD did at that time. And I cannot pinpoint exactly in that game. And that's a kind of a defining moment in both of those guys' careers as we look back on Westbrook's and Durant's careers, man. They were pretty damn close to getting back to the finals. They were injured the year before. They were there in 2012. So that's kind of a big moment for both of them. And so for Westbrook to have had Kawhi guarding him, as you guys are claiming was the case, and I'm not doubting that. I'm sure it very well may have been. Baby. I don't want to say baby Kawhi, but that's what he was at the point. Obviously, we know that. And if
The
that was
same baby Kawhi that guarded LeBron.
Good point. Good point, bro. Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah. And that was the same Kawhi who LeBron.
Niggas just don't remember Russ, bro. It's cool. It's cool if you don't remember.
Wait. I wanna, because I semi.
What is he trying to say though?
Yeah, I semi understand what he's
plane.
trying to say.
I'll land my plane right now. So, if Kawhi was the guy that they were sticking on Russ in that playoff series, and Westbrook was not killing you, pulling up, shooting jump shots, not at that time at least. It's not like he was incapable. That was not his cup of tea. You were gonna live with Westbrook doing that at that point. If he was doing work on Kawhi, and then he had to go down there and he had to meet Duncan was old, but Duncan was still one of the elite rim protectors. Splitter made a living. He played on the Spurs solely for providing that. Westbrook's work was cut out for him if Kawhi was guarding him as much as we're saying it was. And Durant, in that case, if we're on the same page in terms of how we our recollection of that series, that means that Durant really had the keys. And for whatever reason, I just know in Game 6 that Westbrook was pretty much the reason they lost, man. Because Durant, we could also give love to the Spurs for whatever they may have executed correctly, but I know that Durant. I'm pretty sure Westbrook, his field goal attempts definitely surpassed Durant's in that game.
No, yeah, they did. I don't think anybody's denying Westbrook without a doubt had moments where he lost them the series. I just think I don't remember that. I remember the Clippers series, so I can't speak to this.
Okay.
I just remember.
By the way, KD shot 12 for 25 in that game.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is I know in a general sense, and I'm not saying if I had to,
you gotta empty the clip, bro. You gotta empty the clip.
If I had to say, I'm pretty sure there are more series where Kevin Durant was the better player.
Nah, he didn't take more. Nah, Russ didn't take more shots. He took 2 less shots.
I don't think that it's by such a wide margin to where they went into series and Kevin Durant ended up being the best player as often as I think some people remember.
Russ was okay. I've watched that game before, and I remember Russ being good, but just to validate it, when Russ was in the game, they were a plus 11. He had 34 and 8. He was relatively inefficient, but turnovers. But Durant also had 7 turnovers, and like they took around the same amount of shots, and like Durant was like a negative 11. Like I don't know how like one nigga lost. Like I have to rewatch the game to remember completely.
Yeah, I have to rewatch.
I don't know how one. from what I'm seeing,
I
out of
could
how
tell you
one
this,
nigga
bro.
lost in the game, the other nigga was. You feel me? But
I
we could.
could tell you this from memory. Like, if I remember correctly, man, like Westbrook was the man who really controlled the outcome of that game once it reached overtime. Like, I don't think Durant
Maybe
really
I could. We could.
Yeah.
I think Russ shot like 1 for 7 in
I can
OT, but I
Oh,
think
okay. We can
I,
rewind.
I think KD shot like 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 in OT. I don't think neither one of them were were all that
Yeah,
great
we
in
could
OT.
honest.
And also, since we're talking about KD, like sometimes he had optimal circumstances and sometimes he didn't have optimal surrounding
Yo,
cast.
Sub is constantly laughing,
Don't
nigga.
forget,
35, not your
don't
nigga.
forget, don't forget that series Ibaka also missed the first 2 games, and this was prime Durant we're talking about. And I know if after Ibaka came back, they won the next 2, and it became a best of 3, and 2 out of 3 at that point. But
That's fine. It's just in my overall take, and I've said this several times, is that when it comes to KD, the selling point of who Durant is as a player is that he is a generational scorer, an all-time great scorer, who performs at ridiculous highs in that aspect, especially in terms of efficiency and volume. And he's shown his ability in flashes at times to be a great passer, playmaker, defender, solid rebounder, but not doing any of those things constantly enough, in my opinion, throughout his career. Not saying that there weren't stretches in with the Warriors or anything like that, but as his career as a whole, I don't think there's really much of any other aspect of the game where he's played at an elite level while also being elite in terms of scoring. And so if he's not providing the efficiency with it, like the impact of Durant just is not the same. It's just not the same as a lot of other players, and that's fine. That's all fine. That can just be the difference between him being right
So you
now
saying
a
he's
top.
efficiency dependent?
Not just efficiency, because I also think the volume scoring. I think the pressure he puts on defenses with that as well kind of opens up certain things. I think.
But
I
to be
think.
but you still think it's still for him to be able to maximize elite play, it's still gonna be efficiency dependent. Majority
Fair,
of the time, more than it's not, right?
fair, yeah, fair.
Okay,
And I
Well, I
think
mean, if he's not efficient,
I can agree with that because, like I said, I think Game 2 was it was in the Suns' hands. I think the first half of this game they would have been in a better position than they was to in the second half, and I think it literally came down to efficiency. So I've definitely thought this about KD's entire career. So I ain't got no pushback with that.
and sometimes that can be the difference between you being 1, 2, or top 3 versus top 5, or top 5 versus top 7. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that can be the difference maker, especially when a lot of other players may just be providing more at a higher level. And so I just
Yeah,
think
because if the shot not falling, the ability to not put more pressure on the rim to create for someone, or for you to get to the rim yourself and finish, or get to the free throw line, ain't there enough. And if it ain't there enough, and your efficiency is not there either, bro, you're literally shitting the game. And I don't know if people don't see that. I don't understand it, but that's my pet peeve because I'm literally watching it. So I think if you're gonna take a jumper, like I said, if you take a jumper on a guy that's literally still there and not you didn't create no separation on him, and another guy's coming as well, bro, you either making that shot or you not. Because if you're not, bro, what are you doing for the team at this point? So I don't know. People don't see that when they watch KD, but it's been there all along. So
yeah, and I think I guess a really great example is like Jokic tonight in the first half, where the shot wasn't falling, but he's had like 3 or 4 really great passes in the first half to kind of set up his teammates, so he can still provide value at a really high level with his passing and
but they
playmaking.
also run plays though. You feel me? It ain't like he just sitting there getting the ball and then like he just making some shit happen out of nowhere. He does it. I'm not saying he don't, but they run shit, and it's like with what's his name, with Dirk in 2011 when he won his ring. It goes back to the same philosophy. He shot shots tough as fuck without separation, but when he hit him, he literally helped his team out. When he didn't, it hurt it. But he didn't. It didn't. He made it more than he didn't in them type of situations. Kevin
And
Durant is trying to do the same shit,
yeah,
but it's like when you're missing it and not making it, you look terrible. Dirk made the shit look good, so that's the difference between them two.
yeah, and I think in terms of just to wrap up this space in the totality, I just think that as great as Durant has been in his career, and this is obviously not the end of his career. Like I'm not trying to like sell this nigga off, but That's just my only pushback with Durant all the times, especially when people talk about skill, and it's like, bro, like there's way more to skill than just scoring, and that's just how people talk about it, and so that's why it irritates me. And so when the scoring isn't there, it becomes even more glaring how much he's deficient in other aspects of the game of basketball because he's not able to provide those other things. Swipe a left, but this is a fun fact for the
That might be the best point I ever heard against Kevin Durant my entire life. I swear to God, like nobody's ever put it that way. You know what I'm saying? I just.
No, bro,
Nobody.
Eli, chill, bro.
There's nothing else KD does
Shaboing
that I
boing.
love, man.
Well, at the end of the game, wait, let me take but right before they put in the bench unit when they put in Peyton Pritchard and all them and they put in the Suns put in their bench and basically took off everyone else. The Nuggets went on a stretch where they shot 23 for 32 from the field, and that was basically the entire third quarter as well as most of the fourth until they start putting in. So they just went on a tear offensively that is like unmatched. They scored 63 points in what 18 minutes? Jesus Christ. Holy fuck.
And who was
Suns in
who was
7.
in the middle? Big
Uh,
15. Big
yeah,
15.
yeah. Jokic shot 8 for 9 in that stretch. Murray shot 6 for 9 in that stretch. Bruce Brown shot 4 for 5 in that stretch. Christian Brown shot 2 for 2 in that
Transition
stretch.
merchants not moved.
I am not worried at all.
Yeah, it was mostly Bruce in transition. But
Yo,
everybody
top
else.
3 defenders that you would feel confident guarding Jokic is who?
That's actually a really good question because I don't think people are gonna give
There's not a
Jokic
lot of
credit.
guys in there.
Or but if you got to pick 3, who?
I think a lot of
Adebayo?
AD and Embiid are probably top 2. Wait, are we saying with no help
Yeah,
or
we're
like
gonna see if AD
with
No
can do
help?
it.
help, no help, no
With
help.
no help, the best defender is Hope. That's all I got.
I'm
Man.
about
I
to
think
say with no help,
Yeah,
I don't.
that's fine. But give me
Okay.
3.
Boing boing.
If
You need help. You
with
need
no
help
help,
though.
Am I
with no
lying,
help,
Ash?
Embiid, Jokic. I mean, I say Jokic, Embiid, Gobert.
No
Not
respect to
Gobert,
Nope,
bro.
Anthony.
You
nope.
can't say
Do not
Gobert.
say
Let's be
Gobert.
real.
Do not say
Jokic doesn't give a
Embiid.
Nah,
shit about
Gobert was
Gobert,
giving
bro.
Jokic some issues last series.
You
We
know, you
gotta
know
we
what's
gotta
pretty
Jokic was trolling, bro. He was trolling us.
Jokic was missing easy
nigga.
bunnies
He's
anyways.
No,
still
Like, what
missing
are we
easy
talking about?
bunnies. He's been missing easy bunnies all
He
playoffs,
does
bro.
this to pad his
Against
rebounds, bro.
Orlando,
We
but
know
not
what he's
Ayton.
doing.
To be
Bro, you
honest
know
with you, Jay
what's
Will, I
pretty
can't think
cool?
of another name.
You
Can
know
I
what's
get 3 names, bro? Stop bullshit.
Listen, wait. I'll do it.
Oh,
I
Jared
think
Allen.
okay.
Nigga said Jared
So
Allen. You're
Shit, not after what I
trolling,
just saw these
bro.
playoffs,
Like,
nigga.
what are you
I think
talking about?
I think I think it's a little interesting.
No help is crazy though.
No help, but like I guess I want to give Draymond some respect because he does guard the
Hey,
big
Cook.
well.
Nigga,
We saw it last year. We saw it last year.
Ash. He averaged like 30 on Draymond. It
Yes,
was like
like
33,
we
bro.
Bro, it's
said,
not about, bro, stop. It's not about.
these are elite players. They're obviously going to get their numbers, and obviously they're going to cook in single coverage. We're just saying who's going to do the least. Who's he going to do the least amount of damage towards? It's not fuck. Nigga responded to that Draymond answer, but he averaged 32 on him, bro. Like, all right, bro. Anyways, man, I think it's Embiid, Draymond, AD, and I think Gobert is a good honorable mention too, bro. I think those are some really good names.
I think y'all giving a lot of credit to AD.
No, I'm saying a locked in AD. That's what I'm saying. But if AD's not like locked in,
I think you guys are
that nigga.
forgetting Ben Simmons, bro.
Munching
You guys are
ass,
forgetting
nigga.
about Ben
Okay,
Simmons.
Muted
so
his face to
three,
say that shit.
3 defenders will help. I'm asking these questions because y'all had that conversation about him being an all-time offensive player.
Oh, if it's with help, then I think it's Draymond at number 1. I think I'd say number 1.
I'm not gonna lie, Bam has done a good job.
Yeah, Bam too.
The games I've seen
what's pretty cool? You know what's pretty cool about
play
the
him,
answer to his question?
that might be scheme though.
The pretty cool thing about the answer to his question is that the 3 guys, in my opinion,
Why
Adebayo.
is it with Bam is always a scheme, but with Draymond it's never Curry.
Nah.
Eli, can you name 3 niggas then
That
without help?
nigga heard some Bam
Hold
disrespect and was
on.
like, "Fuck
Eli,
that
can you
shit,
name 3
man."
niggas
What does
without
that
help?
have to do with what I just said, Jay Will?
Bam, in my opinion,
Man, because you be doing
better.
that. You be doing what you doing right now. That's why.
The 3 guys.
With
The 3
Bam,
guys.
it's just always the scheme. It's just always Spo. Like this thing, y'all just don't like this.
Because he's a scam.
It's
Okay,
like,
who you said Draymond? Who else?
And Lowe still hasn't apologized for that Triple J shit he tried to pull off. That shit was disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself.
What that nigga do?
What I say?
Tell us what he did, Eli. Tell us what he did.
And this nigga said word for word. And Triple J is a Bam. He's not 2. He's not scared that he'll shoot the ball. 15. Really, nigga? 15 points?
Can we go back to the
You
conversation?
nasty fat.
Triple
I don't
J's
know
not
what this
wrong.
nigga's
You
talking.
didn't say that.
Anywho,
Put that on your mom. You didn't say that. On your mother, you didn't say that.
I don't even know what you said.
You
You just
said,
sounded
you
crazy. I
said, you
genuinely don't know
said
what you said.
the Lakers have to play Triple J a certain way because he's not them. He's actually aggressive and he'll do something on offense as that nigga average fucking 15 points. What assist on shitty fucking efficiency. That was actually crazy, bro. How you tried to gas that nigga. You said he was better than Ja. You said some crazy shit, bro. Like you was
I
God.
think he is better than Ja.
That's
Hey,
the point
first
right there.
this season, no cap.
I think he is better than Ja.
Nah, but Jay Will, what were you trying to get with
I don't
that?
see
Yeah, J-Bill, I'm
Nah,
sorry.
I just because when you offensive top 5 all time, I want to know do it matter on what you saw it against, or does it just be like, look here, it doesn't matter, my nigga, he still got it done? Is that
If that's the case, then Magic wouldn't be in there because I don't know who that nigga did it against. I guess it can, and I think that's like the uphill battle that Jokic has to face is that he's doing it in an era where there aren't that many great big men that against him. But I think he's just doing things that are so
Why is that?
so
Why is that?
ridiculously.
He's more so just
Why is that a
unguardable,
point
to be
against him
honest.
though? They're like niggas can't guard him because niggas.
That's
Because
a
niggas,
fact. Like I
But
was just
I
about to
don't
say that shit. Like what?
because
agree with
niggas
it. But
10 years
That's
ago couldn't
crazy.
guard him. What the fuck? Niggas 15 years ago couldn't guard him. Niggas 20,
Like, the nigga's just
20
that
years
good,
ago
bro.
couldn't guard this nigga. What the fuck?
I agree. I don't think there's that many. I don't think there's that many players that could defend him. But long story short, Jay will, in some capacity, sure. But like we get to a point where then we're playing like the hypothetical game where I'm trying to figure out like if this player played against this era of bigs or guards or whatever. Like I don't really know, and it gets really shifty. I just like to go off of what they're doing relative to the era.
okay? So are you expecting like a what are you expecting against the Lakers with Jokic?
I don't know how we're playing him. I don't know if we're putting AD, Vando, or LeBron on him with some type of help. I really don't know how we're playing him, so it's kind of hard for me to assess it.
All right, we'll see.
I think he still be fine though. I don't. When you get to this level, normally even with elite level defenses, you can still sustain like above league average efficiency while generating quality looks for everyone else.
Yeah, because the last time I saw him struggle was Dwight Howard and AD in the front court. But that type of personnel ain't here in today's league. So it is what it is. But
And he wasn't as good back then.
Respect
To be
Vando.
fair.
yeah, that's fair too. That's fair. That's why I say I would like to see it again. But shit, ain't nobody like that right now.
Yeah, respect the winning AD lineups. Nah, let me stop trolling.
But see, here's the thing that kind of bothers me.
Dragging it. The nigga Friday, Giannis, Brook Lopez lineup. And you
Here's
talking
the
about
thing that really
winning
bothers
AD.
me. Bothers me though, Jay Will, is that if we're being honest though with ourselves, that there's players that we view as all-time great offensive players, and when they matched up against elite level defensive units in the playoffs, they did see a drop. And so people are so quick to try to like throw Jokic under the bus that if he drops against the Lakers, people are going to be like, "Oh, see," when he actually faced comp. But if you go back when Jordan faced the Knicks, he dropped. When Kobe faced the Pistons, the Celtics, the elite level teams, he dropped as
Yeah,
well.
when James saw the
Yeah, I
Warriors,
ain't see Curry drop against the Celtics last year, but that's cool though.
okay, but I saw him drop against the Warriors when he went up against real teams. So let's talk about that.
You said
Bitch
Curry. You
ass
said Curry
nigga.
dropped against the Warriors. You mean the
I mean the
Rockets?
Rockets. Sorry, you know what I meant. That bitch ass nigga.
Nigga say dropped against his own team. That's crazy, bro.
So you saying everybody has done it, right?
Everyone has done it. So I don't think that'll be a fair
But
assessment.
I hate,
elite level
but to
teams.
talk about it, I hate this whole dropping notion when niggas just look at it from a points per game and RTS. Like we gotta talk about what's going on in the game. You feel me, right? Like it can't just be, you know what I
But
mean?
Ash, what if it's a situation though where he like dramatically drops off? He just plays bad.
I'm talking about when niggas will cook somebody because their true shooting goes down by like 2 or some shit, like or 3. Like, bro, it's not like that's when they seeing.
I mean, you can still even be technically
the
like
little baby
relatively
said that
inefficient and still
the
you can still
little
be.
baby said that Harden's a dropper.
Oh, Eli, sick it. I knew he was gonna drop him too.
Even if you drop in efficiency, you can still have a net positive impact in it.
Eli, we'll see.
I know,
ass
but
niggas in a
the
couple of
problem with
days.
oh my gosh, nobody's talking about
Ass nigga.
the problem though, Mustard, is that because the argument for like Jokic and other all time great offensive players is that they have to separate themselves. And what I'm saying is, I agree with Ash is saying. Like I always pivot to this series, and please forgive me if y'all heard this already. But when Kobe faced the Orlando Magic in the finals, like he was not going to have the most efficient series because the best way for him to get
Everybody can't be LeBron.
Dwight out of the lane was
Cook.
the cook drop coverage, right? And so if that's the case, then that's
Bron
the
was
only
dropping versus
way.
D Rose every year, by the
I'm not
way.
even gonna lie, bro. Compare 09 Bron versus 09 Kobe. Shit.
But would
Compare,
it?
yo,
But
can
would it?
someone pull up
Oh wait,
LeBron
but
all
would it?
time versus the Bulls?
Shit, and let's compare them rosters too.
Okay, but did '09 Braun did not drop an efficiency against that same Orlando Magic
Nigga,
team?
he
Hey,
averaged.
when you're giving
Are
him
you
40 a
fucking? Are
game, I
you
don't
dead
care, nigga.
ass?
38,
Giving
8,
him
and 8,
40 a
bro. You don't want
game.
me to
Are
read
you?
off
Are
them
you? Wait,
stats.
Low,
38,
because you
8,
tried
and
to do
8.
this shit on playback. Are you being dead ass right now? Or are you just trolling?
On playback, or you mean
Whatever
on
that
player
shit
choice?
called. You did. Are you? What are you?
A nigga that averaged
Are
40,
you
bro.
dead
Come on,
ass with the
man.
LeBron shit? Or are you like trolling with like the old?
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that just because someone drops, and I'm agreeing with Ash, just because you drop in true shooting doesn't mean that your production as an offensive player necessarily drops. I agree with him. You have to assess the team that you're on, the team you're going up against. And for sometimes, I think there are situations where
I
you have
mean,
to
shit.
build
Look
it
at
from within.
Giannis last year. His efficiency dropped against the Celtics, and everybody still had no problem saying he was the best player in the world because we
But
understood
what
the
does that have to do with
circumstances he was
offense,
under.
though? What does it do with offense, though?
I just brought up his efficiency dropping. His true shooting, I think it was like what,
Yeah,
50 something
no,
percent.
him dropping offensively kind of reassured, especially this year.
Oh no, I
Reassured.
was talking about the Celtics series,
Yeah,
nigga.
2 games really
I'm still saying that, and him dropping in that series reassured some of the things that people were saying about his inability to score in a half
But
court
for the
set.
most part, do you think that people that thought Giannis was the best player, hell, if anything, to some people that series reassured them that Giannis was the best player in the world?
Well,
Huh?
for
Go
me,
look at the shit niggas was saying when Giannis was dropping 40 and 20 in games.
And
for
this is
me,
what I be
it
saying.
wasn't. For me, it did not. No,
For Omo to be a basketball mind, he be caring about what other niggas be saying. So it's fair.
he's not a basketball.
Oh, my
Y'all are
fault. My
dick
fault.
riding
My
heavy
fault.
right
My
now. First
fault,
of all,
bro.
get
My
off
fault.
me, and Low, get off me.
Yeah, though you is on his dick though. Like
I'm saying, nigga.
you're not a basketball mind either, bitch.
But to
Now
answer your question, Jay Will, because in my honest opinion, I think niggas are ready to just like shit on Jokic,
Oh
and I
shit, what
understand.
up, Beth?
I understand why niggas are ready to shit on Jokic, right? 'Cause, like for example, if the Warriors win a series and they match up against them in the conference finals, and Curry gets to cooking this nigga Jokic in pick and roll, they're gonna act as if like that's proof that you can't win because that like, and it's like Curry's gonna cook every fucking big in that situation. He's gonna cook
Shit, he ain't
Embiid.
cooking AD.
He's gonna cook well, not
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 cooking
Embiid.
down, bitch.
But and not Bam as well. Oh God. Okay, but y'all know what I'm saying. He cooking Gobert. He
Shit,
cooking
you want us to
Embiid.
keep going?
He cooking Jokic. But you're fine. You're fine with saying Embiid can do it. But because he has to go up against Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, like those caliber
Low,
guards,
you're actually
then it's a
fact. That's
problem.
actually facts. Because
I
Yeah,
wonder who
and
said
Embiid is
that first.
Embiid is very lucky. I don't know who said this. I think it was
I've
Low or
been
Eli.
saying
One
that.
of y'all said this.
Oh
Embiid
my
is
God.
lucky.
It
I don't
was
know who
stated
said
in
it.
my
My
group chat
bad,
like
bro.
2 hours ago, bruh.
Low Embiid is very lucky being in that East.
I said it 2 months ago.
Embiid is very
Yeah, and
lucky being in that
I
East.
said
He
it
don't
2
got to
years
run
ago,
into these
Look,
bitch.
Eli's
guards.
about to just chat. Eli's about
I
to
did.
chat.
Oh,
Yo,
on God, I said it a year ago. I was like, man,
I said it
literally
3 years ago.
You're a dick eater, and you're a liar.
I don't know, Jay. Well, I just think people are going to be critical of him regardless of what happens. Like it doesn't really matter if he can go out and win. If he does it, if they go against the Warriors, people are going to say, "Well, Draymond's only 6'7", so it doesn't really matter." If he
Isn't
does it
that
against
isn't that
them,
isn't that just how niggas talk hoops now? Because ain't everybody getting criticized? The way Curry played last game, like
I thought
I
Curry
start
played
hearing
fine
shit.
too. I didn't even think he
Like
played bad.
I'm just hearing shit about everybody at this point. Isn't that kind of like what it's becoming, or you think it's just worse for
Yeah,
Jokic?
but I think Jokic is in a very rare air where people are just like similar to when Curry first came on the scene, where people is just so new to people that they're in denial about what they're watching, and so they don't want to admit what they're watching is something very very special. So they're still going off this idea of like the same way with the Warriors, like you can't win a championship with a 3-point shooting team, and so it's the same ideology. You can't win a championship with a big who can't be like this elite level rim protector because traditional logic would tell us otherwise until it actually happens. And so now, if it does happen, the same way people said, oh, well, when Curry and them won the first championship, Pat Bev was hurt and Mike Conley was hurt and Kyrie and Kevin Love weren't there, so that don't matter. Like it's going to be the same thing. If Jokic goes through this run and he wins a championship, they're just going to say, "Oh, he didn't go against no big go." They're going to convince themselves that Rudy Gobert
So
is
let me ask you
somehow
this.
a bad defender.
When has it been a time you predicted before it happened and you didn't need to see it to believe it? When was the time you did that and when you've been watching the hoops? Have you ever done it, or have you always been the person
I've
that
been
went off
fairly
history?
optimistic, especially since I mean, not to shit on LeBron, but since when LeBron lost in 2011 is when I became a bit more optimistic and wanted to be a bit more like a more keen eye with what I'm watching, because that run with Dirk, I remember vividly telling myself like, "Oh no, the Lakers are going to win a game at least. So they're going to win. They're going to win," and then they end up not winning. But then when I go back and I rewatch it, it's like very clearly they had no other ability to do so. And so there's things that you kind of just pick up. I don't think I've ever called it though. I think the only time this is not a shot at KD, but I think the only time I called it was when I saw there was a very clear plan for the Warriors to beat the Thunder, even when they were down 3-1 or 1-3. But outside of that, I don't think I felt that confident about much of anything else. I
Okay,
was
well,
just more
my bad. I was just gonna say, like, someone in this chat, Eli's chat, said earlier. I disagree with this. I still think the Nuggets would have won regardless. But how do you think people would have looked at Jokic if he landed, or some of these other teams landed on the other side of the bracket, like the Warriors, the Grizzlies, or the Kings, where they could have exploited Jokic in more of these situations defensively?
You don't think the Kings and the Grizzlies will still lose the series regardless?
Oh, that's why I said. I said earlier. I said I think
Oh,
they're
okay,
still gonna win
okay.
the series, but like defensively, like Jokic has been like really solid defensively in these playoffs, and for the most part, like don't you think like a lot of that perception of his defense obviously would have changed, and like maybe these teams would have given him maybe not a more of a run for their money, because I mean I still think they would have lost, especially that Kings. I still think the
in
Kings would have got
all
smoked.
respect. Is that not but isn't that not just every player in NBA history?
No,
Like
no, I agree. I agree. Yeah, go ahead.
Shaq being able to just dominate weak ass bigs outside of Mutombo in the finals makes him look like immensely better. The Bulls being able to avoid potentially going up against Hakeem Olajuwon makes them look like they're this unstoppable thing, right? Like even this year, like as long as Milwaukee is able to avoid fucking
Respect Patrick Ewing, but go ahead.
Bam and them. Stop. As long as Milwaukee's able to avoid Bam and them, we might be having a completely different story about Giannis and Coach Bud and them. Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, there's
So I'm saying
matchups.
I agree, bro. I agree, bro.
There's matchups that are more favorable for some teams than the other, and which is why again I think that Jokic is just like in almost an unwinnable situation, because if he avoids those matchups, people will just say, "Well, he didn't have the ability to face X Y Z." Da 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 da. But if he goes up against Draymond and dominates Draymond, they're just gonna say nigga 6'7". If he goes up against AD and he looks great against AD, they're just gonna say, well, AD's not really a 5, so that doesn't matter either. The only one that he can really go up against, and if he straight
I disagree with
dominates
the
them,
80 point. I disagree with the 80 because 80's been
trust
having
me.
such a historic defensive like
Yeah,
playoffs
but
right
not
now.
but not as but not as a post defender though, because he hasn't matched up with that many players who are active as individual scoring in the post. Like Triple J, great guy. He's the
But
good season.
everything you just said, it sounds like people are. Everything you just said is. It sounds like people just want to feed their own bias
Yeah, I about to say it sounds
perspective.
like those are just haters. You can't please those people
But you
anyway.
don't
It
and
sounds like
you don't and you don't
everybody in sports is just trying to feed their bias, bro. Like what
and
the
you don't and
fuck?
you don't think that's going to happen this postseason run?
It is
For what?
definitely. I
You
do
talking about like
think it.
no matter the outcome?
I don't. I think in particular with Jokic, I don't really think he's in a win-win situation unless the nigga just does something. He would have to like we're low. Like if we're being honest with ourselves right now, and Swipe isn't here again. But if we're honest with ourselves right now, bro, Jokic is averaging like a 30 some triple double in the postseason right now, and nobody's like really fucking gassing that shit.
That is true.
No,
That is true. That
like
is true.
no,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
this is some shit that we've now think to ourselves like, oh like that's all he's doing. And again, Devin Booker, albeit great, sensational, they will have segments about Devin Booker, and he's been doing great. Jimmy Butler deserves a credit, great, sensational. They will have segments about that as well. And I think Kevin Durant should receive some criticism.
And
You and
you
I
know what's
both
even
know
crazy, bro? That's
you and
a
I
fact.
both know when tomorrow morning on First Take, it will be more about Devin Booker, the Suns, Kevin Durant, what they need to do, it will not be about a man who was in the middle of a historic postseason run and is about to make his way
I
back to
don't
the
think that's
conference
hate though,
finals.
Lo. That's not hate, bruh.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
don't.
not. I'm not saying it's hate. What I'm saying is that like Jay Will said, it's a feeding into whatever biases they have, and so because
Mhm.
they've already fed into the bias of KD's on the Suns now, so they're gonna win. That's the streamline that they're gonna go with instead of actually discussing the fact that Jokic is in the middle of an all-time postseason run, and everybody who said all the shit that they said about, oh, well, what can he do XYZ in the playoffs before we start crowning da-da-da-da-da. He's now on a team that's healthy, and he's averaging a 30-point triple-double on 60-plus true shooting. Like, that's what he's
This
doing.
shit is disgusting because basically what you're saying is that we are never overcome the way things is set. And what I mean by that is like it's set for the flashy perception to always win. So if somebody else was doing this same thing Jokic was doing in a more flashier way, we would literally change our tune. So since it's done unorthodox and not flashy, or it isn't like a shiny new toy that you get from the fucking car lot, then we're not going to brand that shit, or we're not going to shove it down people minds with these narratives on television because it doesn't fit that.
But Jay
So
Will,
well,
It will.
we
It,
pretty
it
much
depends.
Jay
we
Will.
pretty much hoop
Jay, well,
hoop
it
hoop
depends on your
hoop shit
circles,
as
bro.
fuck basically.
It depends on your circles, like your basketball circles. If you're in basketball circles that only listen to like mainstream media, you probably still think Kevin Durant and LeBron are two of the top 5 players in the league.
No, no,
But
no.
like,
Let's
if
no, no,
you're,
no. I think that's
No, no, but it's not even about the circle because that
yeah.
circle you're saying is gonna still be smaller than the other though. You
but
get what I'm
Exactly.
even
saying?
I
then,
was just
like,
about to say, listen,
go ahead.
the percentage of people who are real hoopers who will be up at 3 o'clock in the morning with work at 9 o'clock in the morning talking hoops is less than 10%, bro. These
Yeah, yeah.
people on television drive the narratives, right? And to Jay Will, I was just about to say to you, and everybody thinks I'm a LeBron apologist, right? But we're watching it happen in the LeBron series right now, too. I turned on my television today thinking I was going to hear the apology of all apologies from Stephen A for the blasphemy he was talking in the beginning of the series. And you want to know what the conversation on television was today?
It was more
Who's
about Curry. It was more
who?
about Curry and the
Yo,
Warriors.
listen, it was about nothing about the Lakers. The
Nothing.
question on television this morning was, who's letting Stephen Curry down the most?
Yes.
Like that's listen, that's what they spoke about today. And it goes to what Jay Will said, because it's all about the flashy play, and that's what they want to see. So it's not about if the Lakers were
I mean,
down
Steph is the
3-1 right
face of
now.
the NBA, bro. He's the face of the league.
Exactly. If the Lakers were down 3-1 right now, my God, what the conversation would be. But they're up 3-1, and it's oh, Stephen A had the nerve to bring the conversation to, you know what? I don't condone violence, guys. But now I understand why Draymond punched Jordan Poole. Like, this is what they were talking about on television this morning.
I
I mean,
mean,
he's
how
not
can you
wrong
beat?
though.
I
He's
mean,
not
that's what I'm
wrong.
trying to say. Like, Lowe gets very angry as fuck, right? I'm like, bro, how you gonna beat this shit? Like, you're trying, you yelling at the top of your lungs, but how you gonna beat this shit, bro? You're not gonna beat this shit,
I
bro.
will say they're definitely making their wave. As soon as I saw Kenny on first take, I was like, yeah, there's a way. There's a way.
All
Like
right, bro. All right,
these
bro.
niggas not gonna last
MMZ,
too
what
much
MMZ
longer.
come up here for?
Things are changing, bro. Y'all niggas will see.
Nah,
Things are
hell
changing,
nah.
bro.
Y'all niggas can think that shit.
To not
Why do y'all
changing,
not
nigga.
want to be
As
optimistic?
long as
Things are
Shannon
literally
Sharp, Skip
changing.
Bayless, Stephen A,
It's never
them
gonna
bitch ass
change.
niggas on first
Bro,
take.
we just saw a nigga that does not have a fucking degree, that's a YouTuber,
No, I'm
make it
not
to
talking about that though.
national
I'm not talking about
television.
that. I'm talking about changing the minds of
I
how
hear that.
people think of the
No,
game.
bro, but that's
That's
the
not
first
changing.
step.
I still did. The reason why I disagree, and this is why I think just winning overcomes all, because 7 years ago, the way we talked about basketball is drastically different from what we are right now because of Steph Curry and the Warriors.
No, that is not why.
I'm
Hold
talking about.
on,
And
hold
even
on,
on
hold on,
mainstream
hold
media
on.
too.
Hold
Even on
on.
mainstream
That is
media.
not why we
Answer this
talk about
question.
basketball
Nigga, the
different.
only
The
reason why
reason
we
we
talk
talk
No.
about
about
Hold on, Prez.
basketball.
I need him to answer this question
it's
right quick.
because it's
Hold on,
Steph
Wiz.
and the Warriors,
Answer
bro.
this question right
No, it's
quick.
not. No, it's
True
not.
shooting? That shit was,
You say
bro, we started
wait,
talking about that
Did
because of
you
Steph.
say you disagree? Hold on.
I mean,
Are you
Steph and the
disagreeing
Warriors
with the
made
fact?
analytics a little bit more of a
Are you
acceptable thing.
disagreeing with the fact that the flashy play will change?
Oh no! I see what you're saying, but I
I'm
know.
talking about only from a
I don't think
flashy
it's
perspective.
flashy play though per se, Jay. Well, I think it's just
I agree.
marketable players. That's
I
Listen,
agree.
Yeah, I'm
I agree
saying,
with
will
you,
that
Jay.
ever
Will.
change?
No, I know. I agree with you, Jay. Will, that it probably won't. I also think though that, and I just no. To answer the question, no. I
Exactly.
don't think Jokic is flashy enough to garnish. I agree with that. However, I think that the way that basketball in general is being spoken about, and especially with there's just way more avenues for it to be spoken about, it's way more intelligent than it was 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. It's just way more intelligent.
all right, but can I tell you why? It's because now people are being held accountable. And the reason why people are being held accountable is because things like spaces and clubhouse, and the more every time those things grew and we turned it into a sports situation, now people are being held accountable. 7, 10 years ago, me by myself could go into my barbershop, right? And 30 people could be talking about sports, but none of them knew sports like me, right? And I could spew any amount of bullshit I wanted to say. I could say anything, right? Like just now, right? If I make a good point, y'all agree. A little while ago, I said something about Kevin Durant having one bad series. Everybody laughed me off my mic, right? Because I'm being held accountable. You can't just say
Yeah,
any
but hold on.
bullshit you want to
This
say
is why
on spaces like I could do in my barbershop.
That's
but I
partially true.
hear you, but Lowe's on some other shit. Because even though he said we're talking about it different, this is where I'm still stuck at. If we're talking about it different, isn't that only happening because some of the players that everybody been loving been putting up stinkers, like Kevin Durant, et cetera, right? That's happening because that though, not because we talking about it different.
Wait, let's take the narrative out of it. I think that the way that people,
I hate to tell you, J. Will, but your nigga been sticking it up for a very long
All
oh
time.
my
right, Eli.
God, wait,
All right,
no,
bro.
no,
All
no, no.
right, bro.
Let me explain Curry, for example. I don't think that I think people never really understood the concept of like gravity until Curry. I don't think people really understood that until Curry, and it's always existed. That idea and that concept has always existed, and we've always
Yeah,
seen
but the
it.
word was attention,
a
bro.
fact
The
though.
word was attention.
Exactly, and nobody knew how to phrase it. No one knew how to speak about it. No one knew what it was. But now, when the nigga says gravity, we all know what somebody's saying. And not
Bro,
to
it's
say
a
that didn't
perfect
happen before.
storm. It's because look, it gets said on the app, and it gets said 1, 2 times, 10 times, 100 times, and the word grows. This is social
Have
media.
that word been said on national media?
Yeah, of course they starting to say it
I
on
think
national media.
They don't.
Who?
They don't really say it like that.
JJ Redick will say it.
Only
Okay,
JJ
yeah,
Of
will
just
say
ready.
course.
it. Some other niggas don't say it like that, bro.
Yeah.
No, they don't. But listen,
I gotta see something.
why are they starting to talk about what the fuck was the word they used the other day? And I said, I know these niggas be on the apps all day.
MMZ, what you come up here for, bro?
That's my boy. Chill out, man. He's safe everywhere.
Nigga always chilling shit.
Nah, I'm just
Nah,
listening. I just rewatched the game. I'll see if you guys are gonna talk about the game again. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Which game?
I just saw Phoenix get
Your man.
smoked.
Oh shit.
Look bad up
Talk about
2-0.
the defense, MMZ.
Hey man, Denver. Listen, man, before you even talk about Phoenix, Denver deserves credit. They play good brand of basketball, but they put Phoenix in a lot of tough spots, and it's just the incomplete roster, to be honest. Murray's having his way with just about anybody because they're forced. They're forced to play Shamit because they need a shooter out there. Because we saw Kogi when he was left wide open, and
Let him
and
cook.
Murray's
Incomplete
doing whatever
roster.
he
Let him
wants with
cook.
Shamit on him. I know DA's been kind of a topic of conversation. He's been getting a lot of heat, but that first quarter was brutal too. A lot of offensive rebounds. Phoenix turned the ball over their first 3 possessions. Lost to MPJ like 4 or 5 times in 4-on-5 situations. It was bad. And the third quarter was.
KE pre-rotations with some shit right.
And then the third quarter was even worse. So I don't know. It's looking tough
Bro,
for Phoenix. I just think that they're a few players short. They don't have enough two-way guys right now that they can rely on.
Incomplete
Not enough
roster. Let him
reliable two-way
cook.
players.
Damn, I want.
Yeah. All right,
I
wait, real
wonder
quick,
who
NMZ.
said.
I'm gonna
I
say this.
wonder who said that exact same sentence the day the trade was made. Like, who word for word said the phrase.
I
They
literally
don't
said the
have
same
enough.
shit, nigga.
Man, she get off. Shut up,
Nigga,
Eli.
everybody knew they
Eli
roster
caught
was
one
not
so much
complete.
credit. Wait,
I know, right?
in NMZ between the
Bitch ass
first
nigga.
quarter, and I'm going to say the first 8 minutes of the fourth, in basically a 20-minute span, the Nuggets scored like 63 points in 20
Yeah,
minutes.
they were changing ends really well because Phoenix's offense today. I know it's off of the 2 games where Book played outstanding, but Book played a lot of one-on-one basketball. The ball didn't touch both sides. There were like 7 or 8 possessions where nobody else touched the ball. Clock got below 5 seconds. He took a bad shot, and Denver's changing ends really
MMZ,
well off of that.
don't you feel like Devin Booker didn't get out in transition as much?
Well, yeah, it was hard because they couldn't get rebounds, and they just
Exactly.
didn't get enough stops. So those situations just didn't come up as much this game.
Yeah, that Nuggets off looking like a motherfucker,
And
man.
Bruce Brown was killing them with slips to the basket.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Bruce was. Yeah.
But to Jay Will's point though,
Malone
I think that's the reason why I don't know. That's the reason why I think, especially in the second half of the season, when I started to become more open to the idea of the Nuggets like roster, I've been more open to the idea of like potentially if Jokic wins, I do think that it will start to force different conversations that will be had because how unconventional that roster is, in particular how he plays, and I think it's going to force him to have conversations that I don't think a lot of people are prepared to have. Now, if he doesn't win, unfortunately, people are going to say, "I told you so," and they're going to, and he's probably, if they lose, they're probably going to lose in the manner in which a lot of people thought so. But like losing to like LeBron level rim pressure or Curry level floor spacing is like that's not really nothing to like try to prove a point off of. It's like, bro, like I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like 99% of the league has been losing to that style of basketball for the last decade. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what to tell niggas. Like I really don't. Those 2 niggas been dominating the league for 10 years now, and everybody's been
I
losing
think
to
it's
them.
just more so people are gonna just say like this is just proof why he's not better than those players. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what just people are gonna say. Like Curry, like right? Because I
Yeah,
think
but
you can agree
I
like
think it's going
Curry's
to
in that
extend
conversation.
further. I think it's going to extend further than that, though. I think it's going to extend to saying that you can't win a championship that way, because that is the question that is here now. Like I think that is one of the questions that we have about the team. But if they win,
To be
though,
fair, that was a valid question considering Jokic's defense in the playoffs in previous years.
yeah, but I'm telling you, in 2015, we thought it was a valid question of can you win with a 3-point shooting team? That was a valid question at that time.
Yeah.
True, but Jokic got better. To be honest, on defense, he got better.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's
Nigga
not,
from
but
last year to now, no, he hasn't.
no, from
Man, they run a
2020 to
different
now.
team, bro. That's
he
it.
he hasn't
But
been.
no, the conversations with Jokic have not just started last year. These have been conversations since
Yeah.
like he became an all-star. Let's be serious here.
Yeah, but as he's propelled further higher up.
Bro, but listen, the conversations when he first became an all-star, like I remember in the bubble, there was somebody was like, and it was some dumb nigga, some in the lab nigga, not Devin in the lab, but another one, the nigga that trains Mikey Williams. I think he had asked something. He was like, long term shit, Jokic come off the bench, and back then I laughed at it. I didn't even. I want like that shit was funny
That's
to me,
insane.
bro.
I can't lie.
Like that was I'm gonna look for the video. I'm gonna look. It's when they
That
fell
reminds me of
down.
that time they said Devin Booker is like Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford or some shit.
Nobody said that. No way.
But
What? No, that was a thing. Somebody had. I remember
don't you think
I actually
shit.
semi
if,
remember that
when they
actually.
play the
Yeah.
Lakers, that it's the narrative of the Lakers are going to win this series is going to be like crazy through the roof and through the national media? Don't you think it's going to
Nobody's
like?
gonna pick the Nuggets except for
Yeah, nobody's not gonna pick them up.
That's what I'm saying. So like, bro, then what? Like, things not changing because if he loses to a team that the whole national media think that they picking the Lakers to win, it's gonna look bad.
the national media picked the Suns
Like
too.
you know that, right?
But Jay will think about what Curry had to do to change the perception. Not only he had to win, the nigga the next year had to lead the Warriors to 73 fucking wins. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what it took
And
for
did
us.
that shit flashy as fuck.
And it was without a doubt flashing. I think that there needs to be more
That's the whole
conversation.
point, bro. That's the point I don't think
Yeah.
Jokic could ever get through. That's my whole thing.
Uh,
Like
and if
real
that's
hoop
the case,
minds, we
that's
gonna
really
appreciate
Some of
bad.
this.
them niggas.
Real hoopers, we gonna really appreciate this shit. But I just think that shit's gonna be small, bro. I'm sorry. Unless he go out there and just average 37 in the finals and drop 35, 36 against the Lakers in fourth quarters in the clutch, just cooking. Maybe some shit like that, maybe. But if he wins playing Jokic ball and it ain't really 30 balls out there like that, It's 25, 26. The whole team playing well together. I don't think so, no. I don't think so.
They're gonna be hating because that nigga averaging a 30-point triple dub right now.
And honestly, to be fair, like, and I think that's a fair point
And
because
you just said Lakers at 5. I heard you.
Who?
niggas are if
you said
Jokic
it
beats
low.
the Lakers, I guarantee you they're gonna talk more about how the Lakers failed instead of how Jokic won. Because it's the same thing with
Exactly.
like, and I'm not saying it's the exact same scenario, but remember when Dirk did what he did? We don't even really look at that as like a Dirk success story, more of like as
No, but
compared
that
to like a
was a LeBron
LeBron
failure though.
failure.
But that was a
I'm
LeBron.
guilty of it too. I said LeBron
Yeah.
gave Dirk that ring.
Shout out
I've
to
been
Dirk
saying
for an
that.
all-time run, but that was a failure, my nigga. That
But I
nigga
do think that's a little bit different because
was
LeBron, like, that was such a big story. You just couldn't like, you couldn't just not talk about that. You feel me?
But right now, even in this series, like Devin Booker's doing what he's doing, and for him to try to just for them to win games, right? Like just for them to compete against Jokic, and like like Jokic put up a 50 ball with like 11 assists,
Okay, well, let me ask you
and
this, Lo.
and I was
What do you think?
looking for somebody to talk about, it, and I was like,
nobody
Okay,
spoke.
but let me ask you this, Lo.
Yeah, they said Devin Booker's the best player in this
Even
series.
though
I've
it's
been hearing
fucked
that.
up
I've
that
been
yes, I
hearing
was
nobody.
that.
like,
I've
bro,
been
what
hearing
in the
that.
fuck are we talking
Okay,
about
even
right
though
now?
it's fucked up that nobody's talking about Jokic, when we already throw in the fact that like D Book is just more marketable and like his story right now, how he's carrying that Suns team to a like large degree, what do you think is more like
No.
guaranteed for
It's
the media
fine.
to talk about?
That
It's
nigga D-Book
fine.
was with
It's
Kendall
fine.
Jenner. Nigga
But
got a
I
2K
think,
cover.
and I've told you this before. I think I told you this
He's just
before.
a more marketable star.
He's just more marketable,
No,
my
he's
nigga.
just more flashy with it.
I think
Flashy, marketable,
flashy,
whatever you like to
marketable,
say.
however you want to put it. But
Yeah.
I think the NBA shoots themselves in the foot because you end up with another like Tim Duncan like situation where it's not like the Nuggets are going anywhere anytime soon. Like if they
Why?
start
How
winning,
the fuck
then like
am
you're going to have to figure out a way to market this player because he's going to be relevant in the league for several years now. And so
But
if you either you find a way to market him or you have these series and hopefully not even the finals where you're having some of the lowest attendance because you never marketed this player
The
all
fact, bro.
throughout his
People
career.
don't. A lot of people, and I've said this. Jokic is not a celebrity, and considering like his resume in the league, that's kind of crazy to think about. Though I understand he doesn't really have a social media presence, but like even then, like Jokic had his wife and kid in the, or I don't know if she's his wife, but his kid and the mother of his kid in the crowd, and people were like, "Damn, Jokic has a kid." Like people
Yeah,
didn't
niggas
even know
didn't.
that shit. You feel me? Like Jokic is like and I like I said, I don't know if that's mainly because of the media or him because he's not a social media presence like whatsoever. I don't think he has a Twitter or Instagram, right?
Like Swipe told me that nigga like to ride horses and fucking
Yeah,
what is
but
it,
Exactly. He be on
Serbia?
ranches and shit in Serbia.
well, you know why? You know
The
why?
Sunday,
I'm
Sunday.
gonna say this though. The reason why I don't even want to get that shit a fucking break because Kawhi's not really a social media presence, and they still found ways. Albeit, to be fair to
That's a
Kawhi,
little
Like
different though. That's a
he has
little
a
different though.
flashier game, like Jay Will said.
Kawhi
No,
started forcing it when he went to the Clippers. Albeit, but
no,
No,
like
not
like Jay
even the
Will
Clippers.
said.
Kawhi did unintentionally funny stuff that blew up on social media. You feel me?
And like Jay Will said, he has
Like
a
as soon
flashier
as he
game.
touched down in
you
Toronto, that
think
Flashier
Kawhi
laugh
game.
has a
instantly
flashy
blew up.
game?
He has a much flashier game than Yo. Like niggas literally call
Oh
him
man.
like.
no?
Remember they were
They do
comparing
call
him
him
to
Michael
Jordan,
Jordan,
bro.
bro. They
They
literally
was
call him.
comparing him to Jordan by the way he plays. Like
Yeah, but
nigga kills in the mid
that
range.
wasn't because of the flash though.
No, bro, it was, bro.
No,
Like
actually,
niggas
it
kills
was
in
Nah,
the
I'm not
bro.
gonna
very
lie.
Nah,
There's
different,
nah,
bro.
nah.
nothing.
bro.
It was
No,
Kawhi
not.
is
listen,
not
listen, listen,
flash,
listen.
bro.
I'm
Nah.
not gonna lie.
Bro,
There's nothing
Bro, you
flashy
niggas,
about
you niggas
Kawhi's
tweaking.
game,
That nigga
nigga.
Kawhi is flashy
The
the way that
only
nigga.
thing, only
Fuck
thing, the
no.
only thing gives Kawhi Leonard
Just because you have
is
a bag doesn't mean you're flashy, bro.
the Kawhi Leonard hype came from, oh, he can guard all
Nigga, you don't
these.
gotta be Ja
He could
Morant
guard all
flash
these
to
LeBrons
come
and
on, bro.
KDs and shit. That's what helped him, bro. Like
No,
That nigga
no,
say I got.
I
that's
still
what
feel
helped him,
like
bro.
the
And he got a little
Listen,
biggest
bro.
fadeaway
Listen.
jumper. That's about
Kawhi
it.
I'm gonna be
Kawhi
real.
in
I'm gonna
San
be real.
Antonio was not getting media coverage like that.
Bro,
It was
nigga,
once he
yo,
touched down in Toronto and did that little ha 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 shit. That's when
why are
that
you
nigga started
raping the
blowing up,
mic,
bro.
my nigga? Back a little bit.
Oh,
Also,
now I'm
What?
raping the
also
mic,
to be
bro.
fair, also to be
Why
fair
don't
to
you
But
take my
Kawhi.
listen,
semen out your throat, bro?
Oh wow.
what?
Bro,
Also to be fair to
why?
Yo,
Kawhi,
you
I
just been
think
on some
that
zesty shit this whole day, bro.
I think Kawhi
Yeah, Zach.
status I think Kawhi status reached a little higher when he made that shot against Philly. But I all in all though, I think that long story short, I think Jokic and them are more or less in a lose situation until they can just like run off a couple of more, and it just forces the league to talk about them more. But like what Jokic is doing is like very, very, very special. especially when you take the time out and look at it from like a historic lens, bro. It ain't really, and the fact that we just like the nigga had 50 and 11 the other night, and it was like whatever, and now he's averaging a 30-point triple double in the playoffs on great efficiency, or probably like 3 or 4 above league average efficiency. And I truly wonder what the story is going to be next tomorrow, because I highly doubt it's going to be about Jokic. I highly doubt it's going to be about Jokic.
Did you make this
Even
face
if they
about
do, it's
Jokic?
going to be a short ass.
Now, to be honest, what's crazy is though on YouTube, if I make a video about Jokic, it might actually do
It would
well.
do
Like,
numbers because the market is small.
yeah,
Yeah,
which is crazy because over the years I'll do a video about
that's
Jokic and
common sense.
Giannis,
Small. If you do ones on small market teams, they blow up easier than.
which is so
That is
weird
actually a
though.
big fact. That's a
Yeah,
huge fact.
all OKC videos
Except for
blow up.
Any nigga,
Whenever anybody talk about the Bucks or the Nuggets, like it always goes
Bro,
crazy.
every OKC video I see blows up, my nigga.
any
Every single
nigga,
one.
bro. Any nigga that do,
Every
I don't know
single
any
about
one,
nigga,
every
nigga.
OKC video.
any nigga that do
Everyone.
I
any
think every
nigga that,
Shea video, sure.
any nigga that do what's it called knows that, like NBA stuff knows. Any NBA videos on
But
YouTube knows
which
that.
is so crazy because they know the argument is that these players aren't marketable, but I think there's a subsection of the community that wants to learn about like Giannis and Embiid, especially over the past 2 to 3 years, because they know they have not been able to get it from the larger media, which is why I think like bro, when thinking basketball is probably gonna do that. Nigga Ben Simmons is probably gonna drop a video tomorrow about how they dropped 60 points in 20 minutes. 60 points in 20. He's probably gonna make a video about that.
But to be fair, go ahead. My bad.
And
To be
I don't
fair,
think
that nigga is a Warriors, Nuggets, and
yeah,
AD person.
he's a warrior in Jokic merchant. He without a doubt he is, which is fine. I'm fine with it because as long as somebody got to talk about Jokic on a major platform.
It's crazy because anytime anybody talk about Giannis or anytime I make a video about Giannis, a huge chunk of those like viewers coming from Greece also. Like these international niggas, like people in these international countries, they do be watching as well. A lot of these players. And kind of crazy how they say like, oh, Giannis, Jokic, they're not as marketable as like these American stars. But like, man, that shit is crazy to me, bro.
But man, cross my fingers for Jokic.
Yeah, hey, good luck to y'all on this shit.
Man, hope Jokic plays great. Hey man, J. Will, hope the best for your man.
No,
I
you
really
don't,
do,
nigga.
man.
This nigga was literally tweeting every fucking field goal percentage every fucking
Because
time.
that nigga was
He did the
thinking
same
up.
shit with Russ.
Man,
Nigga was doing
bruh,
this shit with Russ. How you think I
you
feel,
think
Jay
I'm
Will?
taking that fake ass hope, nigga? Fuck out of here, nigga.
And what's crazy is I should not be able to do that for KD. Russ, yes. Maybe Giannis, sure. But I'm doing that for KD.
You wouldn't
That's
do it
crazy.
for Giannis, bitch. Don't lie.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do it. But the fact that I could get it off for KD,
Exactly, bruh. So fuck that fake ass hope, bruh.
nah, man. I hope the
I'm gonna
best,
start
bro.
doing it for LeBron, man. I'm gonna start
Hey,
counting
do it. Hey,
Bro,
do it,
what?
man. Shit,
every
do
single
it.
one. I'm gonna be
There's
like,
no way you could do that shit now at 38 years old. There's no way. You
man,
think you getting some
nigga,
out of
get
that?
the fuck out of here.
You
Y'all
think you
should
getting
have
some
called
out of that
the
goods at 38?
of the season. Now, oh, you can't do it because it's
While
38.
injured, while
Fuck
injured.
out of here.
Yeah, while injured is
Wow.
crazy, good.
I'm not
Seriously.
hearing
Because
that
you know
shit.
that's what I'm gonna put under your fucking comment. Like, damn, 38 and injured. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, damn. Cool, my
Bro,
nigga.
if you follow Goods and you don't follow me, you just a hating ass nigga, dog. I'm not gonna.
Yo,
Wait,
following
Lo still
Eli
don't
is
follow
bad for the
Eli?
brand, bro. Following Eli is a danger to the brand.
What? I
They
don't
be
even
like, yo, you following this nigga? Yo, he wild on the fucking
I don't even
TL,
tweet nothing
bro.
crazy, bro.
Yo, you
Go
say
look
crazy shit.
go look through my last tweets and tell me if it's anything crazy.
I'm not going through your tweets, nigga. What I look like, bro? Come
Or
on now.
somebody that want to learn about hoops.
Okay, I'll go to Swiper's timeline if I want to do that thing.
Well, come
All right,
on
my
now.
boy.
That nigga don't know shit about basketball.
Shit. Yo, I know there's plenty of y'all who want to come up here, but I'm sorry, bro. I gotta pack this place up. Maybe we can continue this conversation tomorrow, or the next day, when Jokic gets to the conference finals, bro. Because it will be a very interesting convo. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all then.